Okay, people, so we have a new Shudder original dropping this week. It is from director Alex Herron, written by Thomas Moldestad, and it is called Leave. So the film is produced by Diane Pinker, Dave Splid, and Tommy Winkelala. It's executive produced by Tor Frederick Dreyer, Chris Hagen, Svea Andreas Hidif Hilby, Magnus Tomansson, and Arn Wildung. Associate produced by Ulrich Kraft. Jamie Christopherson handles the music. Sieur Afron, cinematography. Joachim Pietrus edits the piece. Casting is Alicia M. Idensund, Jane Frisbee, and Anili Powell. Andreas Christina Rosette is on production design. Stina Lund, costume design. Hair and makeup, we've got Ingrid C. Stasi Skidjod, June Middervelt Olsen, June Carlson, Mia Kalv, Ina Crutcheren, and Jan Blendhin. Our cast, well, Hunter is played by Alicia von Rittberg. Her dad, Raylan, is played by Clarence Smith. We then have got Stian Norham, played by Herman Tomaras. Toyston Norlum, played by Stig R. Amdam. There is Lillian Norum, played by Ragnhild Gudbrandsson. Anna Norum, played by Maria Alm Norell. Olab Norum, played by Gerald Pettersson. We have got Cecilia, played by Ellen Dorrit Pettersson. Christian, played by Morten Holst. Shape, played by Gry M. Dahl. And Vigard, played by Bjorn Myron. So the gist of the film is this. A young woman tries to find her origins after having been abandoned as an infant at a cemetery, wrapped in a cloth with satanic symbols. But as she gets closer to answers, a malevolent spirit is telling her to leave. So, yes, this is, you know, because we at the beginning, we have this whole thing, you know, a woman calls the police, like a baby, you know, it's like a baby's been left, and, you know, we have a police officer goes to her, and all of that is like creepy. You're expecting something crazy to go down because it's just like, okay, this is, yeah, it's a little freaky, man. And yeah, then, you know, all the symbols on the cloth that the baby's wrapped in, it's just like, yo, what is happening? So, you know, we jump forward. Now the girl is, you know, in her teens, early 20s. You know, the police officer is now a dad. and she's off to college, right? But she is looking for answers, about, who her parents were and all of that kind of jazz. And you learn it's because, her mum had told her some stuff and all of that kind of thing. Which, you think, okay. But it's like, there's a load of things that happen here, and you're just like, why are you doing this? Like, come on now. Like, surely you must understand this is not the wise thing to do. There's there's a lot of crazy things going down where it's just like, yo, I mean, people must know that's not safe, right? Which not necessarily bad, right? But I think you do kind of, come on, because there are bits where it's clear she understands that certain things aren't smart. But you kind of, you're a little baffled in places with some of the choices that are made. It does, definitely build up tension. And then when you've got this supernatural aspect of things happening, it is like, yeah, this is, this is kind of creepy, right? I'm a little unsettled by all of this, but you're not quite sure. Is it supernatural? Is she, having a break? Just, is there something else that could explain some of this stuff? You're not quite sure, right? You're not quite sure what's going on, like what's the meaning of it all, but you do get a feeling where she ends up, not the spot, right? Not the spot to be in. And yeah, the story does ramp up after that. A few, like, I will say, if someone has been in a compromising situation, right? Muscle mass goes. You know what I mean? Like, muscle mass goes. Like, it is always a weird one when they have people like in these things and then they're getting up and walking away. And it's just like, no, you wouldn't, you'd have forgot how to do that. Like, you know what I mean? So there's that. Also, it's a bit like, surely you'd look worse, right? So there's a few little things where you're just like, kind of feel if someone's in that situation, they wouldn't look like that, right? You'd be more ragged and gaunt and just, So there's that. I also kind of think, right, there's just a few things. There's questions. There's mad questions that were there, especially someone shows up towards the end, and you're like, yo, okay. Now I understand that things were by choice and all of this kind of thing, but how would you know where to go now? Like, what, and then you get those choices of like, I've got to go, and be like, but you don't, right? But even if you did, now you must understand that that could be very dangerous, but there's no precautions taken, which are, just like, oh man, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? So there is a lot of odd stuff happening, but it's not a bad film. It's not a bad film. It's creepy. There is some good acting. there's a little hamming up in places, but for the most part, the acting is pretty solid. And it's kind of atmospheric and all of that kind of jazz. So, I would say Leave is definitely worth giving a look, right? I also kind of feel it's ooh, God damn it! Don't you hate when there's something you're gonna say and you just completely just jumped out of my head. I'm like, yo, what? Yeah, no, it's gone. It has gone. Uh, huh. Yeah, that's very frustrating. Um, hmm. Yeah, I feel that it's definitely for people who have enjoyed things like, oh God, what was that? There was that really, there's things like Sun, right? Um, that I think, and on the third day. So there's kind of similar kind of tonal films that I think if you enjoyed those, I mean, Leave is definitely going to work for you. Attachment from a few weeks back again, it's kind of a similar vibe, right? I think Attachment is a slightly stronger film, but yeah, it's a similar vibe. And Leave is, oh, there was that hotel one in the room called Hall. I think it was called Hall, which again, kind of a similar tonal type of thing. So yeah, if those are your films, right? If you've enjoyed those, then yes, I do believe that Leave will be for you. And so yeah, it's available on Shudder, people. So yeah, go have a look. Check it out.